I have accumulated a very big long list of things that I want to find in some charity shops, antiquing, both for the house as well as clothing wise. Although I am hoping to find these things, I hope that I don't find any of the big things too early on because I don't want to carry them around with me. I've got a big bag, and within that big bag I have another big bag, so I definitely have lots of room. Like I said, I have a big long list. I put a couple exclamation marks next to the things that I definitely want to find today. That includes a crochet book for my friend's birthday next week and a garden bench. I'm obviously not going to carry a garden bench home with me, but I'm hoping that some of the stores might do delivery. In terms of clothing, I'm looking for silver chunky jewellery, some jean shorts or a pair of baggy jeans that I can cut into shorts, some Adidas shorts, again kind of baggy. They don't have to be Adidas, but just that kind of style. A hobo bag or leather type of bag, brown belt, any baggy shirts in various colours. I obviously, as you can see, wear a lot of them, but I kind of really want some solid colours, like maybe a nice blue, green or red. Some mules or slippers. I'm really reaching here. I highly doubt I'll find them, but I put them on there anyways. Some fun tops, tank tops for the summer. A denim shirt or jacket. I found this one yesterday actually in a charity shop, but I want one like this in a darker wash. Any white lacy type shirts and anything polka dot. Then for the house, I'm looking for large frames, large paintings as well, or even some that I can paint over maybe. I'm always looking for lights and lamps, so I'm going to just in general keep an eye out for that. Same with chrome, I like anything chrome. Some pottery, so plates and mugs that are quite unique. Same with vases, just some unique vases for flowers. Any type of interior design coffee table books. I have a lot of photography ones, but I'd love to have more house homey interior ones. I'm looking for a large shelf for one of the walls in the living room, and also for a large cabinet that I can put under the shelf. Those things I would love to find. Like I said, I really want a garden bench and I need a slim mirror for the living room as well. So that's my list. I don't know how much we're going to find from that. If you're from Norwich, this might be familiar. I'm on Magdalen Street, which is like the best street for charity shopping in the whole city. So I'm going to make my way down. I'm actually going to start at the other end and make my way back here. First few shops I'm going to go to are mainly going to be for clothing, and then I'm going to do the bigger antique shops towards the end. We might also have to do a little coffee stop throughout because I never do that, and by the end of the trip I'm getting a headache, I feel worn out, overstimulated, so I'm going to try and take a little break in between as well. I'm done chatting and exposing myself like this, so we're gonna head down and just get right into it. The first one that we're going to, they have everything really cheap. They also only take cash, and I usually never carry cash with me. I actually remembered today to take some cash with me, so hopefully we can find some good bargains there. Right from the start, narrating this was really hard. This shop especially was super quiet, and I didn't really want to ruin everyone else's shopping experience by chatting to my camera, but then the rest of the shops that I went to all had really loud music playing. I personally find thrifting montages a bit boring sometimes, so I'll just narrate some of this footage instead. Now, I usually charity shop very spontaneously and pop into a shop if I pass one and if I have time. Oftentimes I just quickly browse, sometimes I find something great instantly just by doing that, but really you need to take the time to flick through every single hanger because you never know what goodies are squished in there. When I find something that I like the look of, first thing I do is touch it and feel the material. Then I check the label. So many times they end up being Shein or Primark, so I instantly put them back on the rack. If I do like the brand, I will then check the care label and see what material it is actually made of. If I love the piece enough, I will buy it no matter what the material is. But if I'm unsure, the material is usually a deal breaker, and I'm more likely to buy it if it's 100% cotton or silk or wool than if it's just polyester. This shop had lots of great things, lots of vintage labels and some fun picture frames and books as well. Generally, I prefer to try clothes on rather than risk them not fitting and having to redonate them, but they didn't have a changing room here, so I kind of just held things up in the mirror and hoped for the best. I ended up being in that one for really long. They had some really good stuff and it's super cheap as well, so I can't wait to show you what I got on there. But a lot of the stores that I usually go to have closed down. There was meant to be one here, but it's gone now. So I'm going to go to one a little bit further down, and then I'm going to head back down the street towards the antique shops. And there's actually one that it was called Aladdin's Cave, I want to say. It was completely gone, and that one was amazing. It had so much antique furniture, vintage clothing, and it had really good coffee table books, but it's gone, and I can't believe it. I'm really sad. This charity shop in particular has honestly never been it for me. I always go in thinking this will be the day I find something nice, but I never do. A lot of these charity shops will now also have vintage racks, and I found this beautiful floral dress, but it was super, super long, and I'm not even sure where I would have worn that to. I kind of regret not getting these glasses, but I didn't want to have things that could break in my bag so early on in my trip. Then this charity shop is my absolute favorite. I have found so many great things here. Their prices were always really good, and they had a whole section at the back where everything was £1. So I was absolutely gutted to see and hear that they were also closing down. They only had very little stock left, but I still went through every single hanger hoping that some goodies were left behind. Even though I went through my list earlier on, when I'm actually going through these racks, I'm not really thinking about that and just kind of looking for something that will catch my eye. They actually had some really nice knitwear and a couple vintage pieces with some fun colours, but none of them really blew me away that much. And I did overhear people talking about the shop reopening when the area has been redeveloped, so that's good news for me. Then this shop was super well stocked, and it was actually quite hard to go through the hangers. They had lots of cute skirts like this vintage one, and here we have a Primark fail. I really like the feel of that one, but it was an instant no, obviously. Then this 100% cotton jumper was really nice. I just don't particularly love this colour on me, so I put it back. I also always go through the jewellery, but it was mostly just costume jewellery. And then I did like these office loafers, and they were my size, surprisingly, but I had literally just bought some Vagabonds a few weeks ago, so I left these ones behind. Surprisingly, this was the only shop where I found some men's gym shorts, but they were all so small. Ideally, I'd find a larger pair so I can wear them a bit more oversized and more relaxed, just because these shorts were not cut for female hips. So if I buy them in my size, they will literally fit like leggings. I love finding a pair of vintage jeans, but they do always price them up so much more to the point where it's not even worth buying. In the previous charity shop that I mentioned that I loved, I have found so many pairs of Levi's jeans for no more than £5, and that in my eyes is a deal, not £25. Here's what once was Aladdin's cave, and I'm so gutted that it is gone. Also, I can't believe I didn't realise that it was shutting down. I now think I probably missed out on some really, really good deals there. Then we're off to the next one. I love this vintage cutlery, but I had to learn the hard way that they are not dishwasher safe, so I'll just admire them from afar. For denim shirts, I usually always just find these thinner shirts rather than like 100% cotton denim shirt. I was also staring at this framed print for the longest time, trying to decide whether I liked it or not, but I just left it there in the end. I would love to be narrating more for you guys, but it is either so quiet in the store or there's music playing. There's like no in between. I've just found like a cute little corner to sit down in, but yeah, it's kind of hard, so I'll probably doing a voiceover, I suppose. I don't know yet. A lot of the stores are closing down, which I didn't realise is because the area is being redeveloped, and I completely forgot. So I think they will open up again, but it's all just going to be very different. It's a shame, but I guess it's also a good thing. There's so many cute books here. Alright, I've got about 2 more shops that I can go to, but the last one that I wanted to go to takes a really long time, or it's really big, so I think I could spend like 2 hours in there, and I need to ideally head home within the next hour because I have a work thing to go to. So I'm going to go to Oxfam, and then I'll see how much time I have left afterwards. I'm thinking whether I might just come back here another time and we'll do the big shop another day, because like I said, I could, spend so much time in there. I've been at it for like 2 hours now, so it's definitely been a successful day so far. Now, Oxfam is very hit or miss. Some of the items are a good deal, but then others are so overpriced. Then I do also really like looking through their knickknacks, and like this tartan glasses case, and then I tried on this brown trench coat which was new from ASOS, and I should have known, because it was new from ASOS, that it would not fit well, because it looks just so bad on me. They have a big fabric and craft corner, but some of the fabrics can be weirdly overpriced for what they are, so I'm always a bit wary and will only really get something if I really, really love it. I also don't really need any more crafty stuff at the moment, so instead I had a proper look through their books, which I usually skip. It's time to head home. I'm definitely going to do Lucis on another day because we can't miss that. There'll be so much good stuff there. I'm just slightly running out of time to get ready for my work day. I will show you everything that I've got at the end after the Lucis trip because I'm hoping that I'll find a bit more there as well. I've got a pretty good haul. Obviously haven't got everything, well, not even close to everything on my list, but I didn't expect that at all. That's never going to happen. Hello, welcome back. We are in the same spot again. It's a few days later and it's super sunny, it's gorgeous. I'm having a great time. I realised watching my first clip back from the other day that it was super noisy in the background, even though I had the mic on, so I'm going to hold it a little bit closer to my face and I hope that you can't hear all of the traffic behind me. Like I said, we're going to head to Lucis now, which is the big antique vintage shop. It has loads of furniture, like so much furniture, quite a lot of clothing, little knickknacks as well, so I'm really excited for that. Little fit check, what I'm wearing. Let's go. Straight away, they had so many cute things at the front of the shop. I went straight to rummaging through the clothing racks. I like this denim jacket, but really I'm after more of a shirt type of denim. Otherwise, everything else on this rack was quite wacky. The clothing here is a lot more vintage, but then you do kind of get the occasional misguided piece in there, you know. Then there was this rack full of vintage dresses, and I loved this white frilly maxi dress. I've been pinning so many of these, so I held on to that. Now this is where it gets overwhelming very quickly. I like this cabinet type thing, but it wasn't in very good condition and it was very overpriced for what it was. I also like this metal shelving thing, but I'm kind of looking for more of a closed cabinet, so neither of these would have been a good option for what I'm looking for. I had this Peugeot print with German text on, which I really liked, but it was £225 and it wasn't even framed well, so that was an absolute no. They just have so much stuff and I really did give it a good go looking at as much as I could. There were so many picture frames everywhere that I very quickly got choice paralysis and I didn't even know what I liked anymore. I pulled out these two, but then I only kept the flower frame, which I did really like. They also had these big movie posters, a lot of Tom Cruise for some reason, which I can't say I'm particularly into. Now this red light I really liked, but I couldn't for the life of me think where I would put it, and I would have just bought it anyways if I wasn't in such a low spend mood that day. Some days I'm better at spending money than others, and today I was being incredibly careful with my purchases, so I sadly left this red light behind. So many nice vintage furniture pieces here, but these types of things I honestly prefer to find on Facebook Marketplace for much cheaper, but it's still nice to check them out in person. Then we had another close contender for my cabinet, but again the shelves are open and I really want drawers instead. Also, the price was crazy. I would pay that for the perfect cabinet, but this just definitely wasn't it. I was really banking on finding a garden bench here, and they did have some, but they were all super run down, and then they still priced them at £120, which I thought was crazy. They did have this beer garden set without a price on, and we do really want one of these, but we don't currently have the space for it, so I didn't bother inquiring about it. Also, having seen all the other prices, I knew I wouldn't be willing to pay what they would be requesting. So all of this so far was only downstairs. I've now made it upstairs, and I can't lie, I was starting to feel agitated at this point. I definitely went too hard at the start of looking at every single thing that by the time I came up here, I had no energy left. Their selection of books is incredible as well, and I did look through a few magazines, but I think I just had to leave it for the day. I did try the dress on before I left to see if I actually wanted to get it, and it was not it. Oh my god, the material was so much thinner than I thought, so it was just really giving ghost. I thought of maybe cropping it, but even as a top it would have been too see-through, so after carrying it around with me throughout the whole shop, I did just put it back on the hanger where I found it. Welcome back. This is all the things that I bought. I guess I'm just gonna go through clothing and home items. So in the very first shop, I got some really nice frames. This one was only 50p. When I was looking for frames, I was mainly looking for either interesting frames itself or interesting mounting. I do actually quite like this rose print. I think I could just hang it like this, but even if I wanted to change it, I like the red border, so I could always put something different there. I found this blue one, which for this one I'm not too keen on the print itself, but I really like the blue framing, and even the mount itself is quite cool. And then this might be one of my favourite ones, this like chromy silver double frame. Yeah, you could just put like a cute couple, I think I'd keep it like that. But yeah, a couple nice photos in there. This one was also 50p, so that's a really good find. In contrast, the frames that I got at Luce's, where everything is so much more expensive, they were both £5, and I don't think there were any nicer or in better conditions than the cheaper ones. This is one of them. Again, a square one, super tiny. What I like to do with these tiny square ones is put them above light switches. Probably will swap out the picture. I don't know, it has been mounted quite nicely, and it does say at the back where it is from. So maybe I will keep it, maybe I'll change it, I'm not too sure. And then this one I really love. This one's definitely my favourite in terms of print, but also the frame's proper wood. It's just such a nice, I guess, watercolour piece. It's very spring vibe. Obviously with the current weather it makes a lot of sense that I chose this, but this is just so pretty. The only other home bits I got were these little glasses, and they're going to have a very specific purpose. They're going to be for my iced coffee. I have a couple like this, but they already have the hole for the straw. I like that I can open this up so I can close it down, and I can just throw my iced coffee in my bag. So I got a couple of those. Then I did already show in the video, but I did end up getting this glasses case. I just loved it so much, and these like tortoiseshell glasses in particular just fit in there perfectly. So this was a no-brainer, and I think this was also like 50p. Oh, and these glasses were £1.50 each, which is a lot more expensive than what I would usually pay for glasses secondhand, but they were something that I was already looking at buying new on Amazon for much more, but I realised then that I could just find it secondhand, and I did, so that for me was worth paying that money for. I buy most of my basics, I think, from charity shops. A lot of the time they're very similar to these kinds of tops, which I like wearing both ways. So I can wear it this way, or I can turn it around and I have a high neck. This was a no-brainer. I think, again, this was 50p. I'm gonna get loads of wear out of this. Just a very boring clothing item, but very useful. And I also got this, which actually doesn't have a brand or care label at all, which is making me think maybe it was handmade, but it's just a very sort of boxy white top with a nice little bow at the back. A nice basic, but just something a little different. Then I did get a shirt. It wasn't in a solid colour, but I really like this stripe, and the fabric is really soft and lightweight. It's not like a crinkly shirt fabric, which my other shirts are in. This one's a lot softer, so I think this will be great for the summer, and I do like that this one's a bit darker wash than a lot of the ones that I have are kind of this like light blue pinstripe. Then speaking of stripes, these I wasn't sure whether to get, and they are these striped wide leg M&S culotte type trousers, and I'm not too big on crop trousers. However, I think I might be able to lower the hem a little bit if these are too short. They fit me like a glove, and they were £6. They seem pretty brand new, or at least not worn very much. Yeah, they're 100% cotton, so these will be fab for the summer. Then I had to, of course, get this super cute navy cardigan. These bows were just to die for. It is a lot more cutesy than what I would usually wear, but it was just so sweet, I couldn't say no. They didn't have changing rooms in that shop, I don't think, so I haven't actually tried it on yet. And I think that was one of the last charity shops I went to, so I don't think I was in the mood to be trying things on in front of other people, so I just bought it, and this was £5. I know summer's literally now coming up, but I think for autumn this will be a really sweet little cardigan to throw on top, and this isn't something that I have a lot of, but maybe it could be nice to have in my wardrobe. Then the last couple pieces are very summery. This I also wasn't able to try on, and it's also very cutesy and very risky. I'm not sure how much this colour, this fabric is gonna work for me. I think, again, there isn't any labels or care labels in this. I'm not sure what this is actually made out of, but it was just so sweet and really unique. These are the kinds of things that I wouldn't be able to buy new in a shop. So I really do hope that I will get somewhere out of this summer. I think with some fry boots, this could be really, really cool. And the last piece, my absolute obsession at the moment, is a white nightgowny ghost-like dress. This one is from Next. And it was £4.99, and yeah, it's just really sweet. It has a bit of a lace sort of detail at the front. Again, I don't think I tried it on, so I do hope this fits, but it will probably just be quite oversized. I think it is slightly see-through, which that is my issue with all of these dresses. I don't know what to wear underneath, but I've been pinning so much with these types of dresses and tops, so this was such a nice find for my summer wardrobe. And that's literally everything that I found on this trip. This day has actually really helped me figure out which things I do just need to buy either new or source on Facebook Marketplace, just with more direct searches, because I've been putting that off a lot. Most of the time I'm thinking, I don't need to bother, I'll find it in a charity shop, which I am now realizing is much, much harder and much more time consuming than just buying it on the internet. I have also deleted Vinted off my phone, and I think both charity shopping and Vinted have their ups and downs. I think the struggle that I'm having with charity shopping is how intentional I can be. The list that I have, I will never be able to walk into a shop and they'll have the exact thing I'm looking for. Whereas obviously on Vinted, you can make direct searches and in that sense be more intentional. However, the problem I'm having with Vinted is that I get carried away. I am buying things that I haven't been able to try on before. Most of the time they don't fit. They're not really the thing that I was looking for because I was getting carried away with good deals or just the pressure of buying something instantly and not wanting someone else to buy it, and also the addictiveness of always having a parcel arriving, always having something that you're bidding on. I wasn't really getting on with that very well, so I had to delete it. I don't know if I will re-download it. The things like jean shorts, Adidas shorts, I find incredibly hard to buy if I'm not able to try them on in person. There's also a few things that I think I should just buy new, like the jean shorts. If I know I'm going to wear them summer after summer, I think things like that are absolutely fine to just buy from a shop. I hope this was interesting. I absolutely love charity shopping in Norwich, so I was really happy to take you along. I'm gonna give everything a good wash now and pop it in my wardrobe so I can start wearing it, which is very exciting. Thank you as always for watching, and hopefully I will see you next time. Goodbye.